It's a hashtag feud, the tension brews, opinions clash like unstoppable views. A digital brink where patience shatters with each post and each fiery scatter. Just retweets, clashes and echoes of grins. They say that the pen is mightier than the sword. Well, mine's a keyboard. So go to war if that's what makes you feel alive. I'll take it personally, but won't take it offline. It's like a drug, it's poison in my mind. My thumb is the trigger, and I've got you in my sights. And if it's all part of God's plan, I'd like to have a word with him. I'm not a fan, so take me to war. I hope it makes you feel alive. I'll take it personally, but won't take it offline.
All right. I think I'm going to publish that one on Not My Rabbit Hole. Thanks for tuning in. I'm just going to be playing a few tunes here before I get started. This is Saturday evening. It's raining outside. I'm going to be quiet for a second. Can you hear the rain? Maybe not. Anyway, here we go. I'm going to start with, this is something that I did on suno.com. It's a blending of orchestral depth with raw indie rock energy, dramatic strings, indie rock, a touch of Jersey club tap for rhythm tension, and 2 cellos. Okay, here we go. right. Okay. So welcome to Not My Rabbit Hole. So the title of this stream is I Stick with Urban Disciple. It is in response to really a couple of videos he did. I Stick with Terry 1, and then this is I Stick with Terry 2 happened today. And I did listen to it, and I want to do some commentary on a few things that he said, because there's some coincidences of his experience that mirrors mine. And I'm going to get to that here in just a second. So for those of you, and I do have a lot of new subscribers here at Not My Rabbit Hole, and so welcome. And I hope that if you are checking out this video, that you will give it a thumbs up and share if you find the information to be of value to you. So here's why I believe it has value, in that you might want to share something like this, is that what happened was, and I'm going to go back to a guy named David Schurter, who claims to be, or allegedly he is a satanic ritual abuse survivor, who has come up through, like, he's been on shows like Lift the Veil with Nathan Stoltman, online shows that backed in or became part of right-wing fringe movements. It's, there's a connection to 4chan, and it brings up Isaac Cappy, who also came out and was allegedly, and I would say, yes, he was talking about child trafficking and things like this connected to Hollywood. And of course, Hollywood does have cases of abuse, and there is truth to what he was saying. Although, okay, I'll just stop right there. Oh, no, I won't. I will say, in my opinion, that a lot of the things that he said were already being said and were very much common knowledge on certain channels. I had heard it before, and I was participating in a media that researched that kind of material, and I had talked about those things on the show myself. So I'm not really sure if, he was a whistleblower to anything that was original, unless you want to consider, Vegan Mikey to be something of note, which I don't. There were a lot of holes in his story and his credibility, as well as, and who else? Well, let's just say David Schurter. I mean, David Schurter's been on Lift the Veil, and, Nathan Stills endorses David Schurter. So David Schurter has been going at it with Gabe Hoffman, who is a producer of a movie, a documentary called An Open Secret, which basically exposed the director Bryan Singer for abusing minors in Hollywood. Okay. So, and this was, it was a real release. The documentary filmmaker had done another documentary previously that was, I think, recognized, I don't know, by the Academy Awards, but there was something where what their research and what they've done, she was already a recognized documentary filmmaker, the director of An Open Secret. And so David Schurter has been going back and forth with also Gabe Hoffman, who was also in a lawsuit with Thomas Schoenberger, or he originally went to, he served Thomas Schoenberger in a lawsuit, but the lawsuit was, I guess, dissolved. And so David Schurter says on, his YouTube channel that he, on his blog, he had information that was sent to him by somebody that he didn't really know, but that it was definitely incriminating information against Gabe Hoffman. And so when I went to his blog, the link that was given to David was a website called Kiwi Farms, which is a hate forum, anti-Semitism, white nationalists, anti-LGBTQ, also anti-race, anti-Black people. All right. And so they were even taken off of Cloudflare. Now, what's interesting is in that source and what is on Kiwi Farms is mentions of Denise Matau, because Gabe Hoffman had sent her a, I guess, I don't know if it's a cease and desist, but it was a letter, a demand letter, where she was saying, you remove these things, you remove these anti-Semitic remarks, etc., or we're going to take whatever the consequence was. And so that was up there. And the person who was in communication with David Schroeder, his name is Travis LeBlanc on X, Travis LeBlanc. And he is a self-proclaimed white nationalist, anti-Semite. And so when he had made, because I was talking about this, and found out who he was, and he knew that I was mentioning him, he started to communicate with me on X, and was all of a sudden the conversation came off of David Schroeder, but became about Denise Matau. So this happened. And then, there's been an ongoing thing with a woman who has a channel named Blazing Scar. And she has, and if she's going to talk about her side of the story, I'm going to say what happened to me, and I can prove it. I've shown it. I've put it on my forum, on my community pages. I didn't really talk about her that much. I mean, she's been going on for a while. Like I'd say like over a year, she's been making videos on her different, channels. And she's been harassing me with people like Denise. Denise has been over in her chat and has said things and this and that. And she's even endorsed Denise before. Now they're apparently feuding, but that stuff happens. That's what they do. And Thomas Schoenberger, as well as Nasty Troll Media. And recently on one of her videos, she even admitted that she did start going after me to back her friend from Nasty Troll Media and Thomas Schoenberger. She's actually said those words verbally. And what's interesting about Blazing Scar, also known as Rebecca Dean, was interviewed by Springfield, Ohio News. It's, I've read it. I've shown she had a little there's a little tiny clip of her talking about how she had a meltdown and she was hospitalized for cyber stalking and cyber harassment. And so it's really interesting that she has been when you look at her and you listen to what she says, it's clearly harassment that she's doing to other people. And when I talk about this, and I want to reiterate this in terms of like David Schroeder and Rebecca Dean or Denise Matau, who did call my job to try to get me fired, and Thomas Schoenberger, who did contact both places that I was going to college at in the journalism department to sabotage me. He emailed them individually himself. All right. And so all this has been going on with me, which is really inappropriate. That is cyber stalking. That is harassment. Denise Matau has left messages on my personal cell phone that are completely would consider to be harassment. And I played one of those recently, and I've done this has been shown on my channel because I want people to understand what happens on the internet and why they're maybe doing it. And so what I discovered recently, not recently, but with this group that goes to certain movements like the pizza thing and, the 17th letter of the alphabet movement, right? And, let's go to all the way to Bundy Ranch. There's this connection all together in this alt media that said that they were red-pilled and awake and all this kind of stuff. And it really got into a lot of things. Well, one of the underbelly conversations is child trafficking. And a lot of these people have predator-catcher groups. And one of the things, and I'm going to play here in just a second, that I find really interesting that Urban Disciple mentions was that he was looking into some of these groups having like skeletons in their closet. Either they were like, covering up or associated to somebody who was a predator, a child predator, or they had it in their family, or they themselves were this. And ironically, when and he talks about getting connected to Blazin this way and these people, and ironically, that's how I got connected to Rebecca, because I had Denise on a show that I had titled Vigilante YouTube. And I was showing different examples of different types of media online that were involved, let's say with Gabby Petito, and they were obstructing actual investigations by police officers or FBI or whatever it is. And there was a channel called Dolly Vision, and I guess a Jimmy Jam or something like that. And he and Bullhorn Betty, there was a high profile case where there was a missing little girl, I think, and the mom, they didn't know where it was. It was a toddler, and there was the daughter and the mother, and it was suspicious that they were covering up. And all these people were in that neighborhood. Bullhorn Betty with her, Bullhorn, and Jimmy out there, they got arrested. So, and there were things in his background or their background. And I was doing commentary on another woman who goes by Team Rose that I noticed being part of the super soldier following stuff like Max Spears and things like this, that, and quasi UFO, New Age spirituality. And she was instigating drama in these chats that were like basically considered to be predator catcher groups, and donating money. And so I thought it was really interesting that there was more drama happening in these groups than there was actually really catching predators. And some of their practices came into question. And so that's where we're going to start. And we'll be right back. Let's get this party started.
He ain't no Saint Germain, no clown, no name. He plays the game sharp as a flame. Who's to blame for the stolen fame? A shadow dance in the devil's frame. Caught in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on a stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. Fast, can't find the ground. Echoes of chaos all around. You chose this dance, this mad parade, but not every choice gets accolades. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. Spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Going down the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole.
All right, so welcome back to Not My Rabbit Hole. The Urban Disciple is here tonight. Thank you for being here, and nice to see you in my chat tonight. Sorry I missed you today. Yeah, I mean, I've been kind of busy. Like, yeah, I did a reading last night at Fresno State. It's called Rough Drafts, and we're all first year MFA creative writing students, and so they do it every year. The second year MFA students host the first year MFA students, and we all read our rough drafts of work that we're still working on, basically, and so I had a reading last night, and then I had a creative nonfiction flash fiction, not flash fiction, flash creative nonfiction piece that I had to finish also yesterday. So I'm kind of in that crunch where a lot of things are going on, but it was really what blew my mind was to come home and see all these videos starting to be said about me. Blazin had done another one. Denise had done a couple. Blazin was sharing it. Nasty Troll Media was sharing it. Like all this stuff was happening, and at the same time, I'm reading some of my work and having some nice compliments and doing it. I was actually interviewed for a radio podcast for Fresno State, and I hooked up another journalist to cover that on the radio. And it was a whole thing that was going on here last night. And I got home pretty late, and then I uploaded, there's a version of that reading here that I uploaded on YouTube, and I'm just looking at all this stuff, and David Schroeder had gone off on me, and Nasty Troll Media was sharing Denise on his timeline, and I listened to a little bit, and I was like, oh wow. Whereas I feel like I'm actually living my life. I live my life. There's another thing happening for me. I can even show the video I uploaded. I uploaded what I was doing last night. I certainly wasn't talking about these guys. But the underbelly of this is racism and anti-Semitism, and I've witnessed it in the media that I've been in from other people, other hosts that said, really looking back, inappropriate things. And in terms, and also in their chats and insults, the insults that I've seen happen on Urban Disciple are jaw-dropping to me in terms of racist slurs and comments. Completely not acceptable. I don't know if you guys remember when the actor Michael Richards, the guy who used to play Kramer, and he was on stage at the Laugh Factory, and he had a heckler, and he went off on the most racial diatribe to that heckler, and people were filming it, and it's pretty much ruined his career. We don't hear from him. Michael Richards, we don't. He was pretty big. He was in all kinds of movies. Done. He's done. You get canceled for stuff like that. And rightly so. But I've seen, people put blackface on their thumbnails and hang up the Confederate flag and do videos that are titled "No Gas Chambers, Terry Joyce Randolph." Pictures of like me and the Urban Disciple, like in a love embrace, like as if like that's so 1950s. I don't even know what to say. Like, we are seriously not in that mindset anymore. And these people are connected with like Kiwi Farms. They're connected with like, movements that have a history of an underbelly of racism attached to it. See? And Rebecca Dean has said things of that ilk, and it has been documented. There are videos of it. And, here she is because I've said that, and because Urban Disciple did a video and appreciated it, said, I stick with Terry. Like, Blazin has just literally like lost her mind right now. It looks like video after video. She's still uploading videos about Urban Disciples stream today, saying he's, saying awful things, awful accusations. And she's also tagged me in it or put my name in association to the trash that she is accusing him of with no evidence. And then she's running around and saying she's the victim. It is really unbelievable. And so right now I'm going to change my banner to fair use and, show, I'm assuming it's okay, but I want to show what some of the things Urban Disciple did and just do a little bit of commentary on it tonight. And he's going to come in here in a minute. I just kind of let it go.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is your precious boy, the Urban Disciple UD, whatever you want to call me. Just don't call me when I'm sleeping. I might not answer, but thank you, all three of you, for coming in. It's been quite the rainy season out here in Southern California. It's been raining nonstop since yesterday. And me personally, I'm liking it. Not necessarily being in it, but I like it. It's a nice, calm vibe that we need in the midst of all this havoc that we have going on. We are in November, so it's, it's like the pumpkin jack-o'-lantern, and it's spoiling, it's rotten right now. So it's starting to look really ugly, and this is where we're at. But thanks, Cole, for stopping by, coming to check this out. I don't exactly know who Goosefinger is, but we will eventually figure this out together as a big, happy community. AJM, what up? What's going on, man? I actually wanted to get up here and just kind of clarify some things. I know people are looking at what's going on. Oh my gosh, look at this stuff. It's getting hectic and crazy. And so if people just have questions about things, maybe this stream might answer them. If they have questions within this stream, they can type it, see if I respond. Nothing huge, nothing big. I don't feel like getting up here and arguing or dissing people or anything like that. This is, my personal Sabbath. So it's just way better to enjoy the weather, but whether or not people want to stop doing what they're doing and want to come to the realization of facts that they're just pumping out a bunch of lies, and this could get you into court. This is misleading is what it is. And it always circles back around to this topic of children and child rape and all sorts of disgusting things. This is what these people are into. Okay, now in time with this, I stick with Terry too. I know it's really soon for a sequel, but when a lot of things are getting spread and there's these ultimatums being made by a particular person of they shouldn't have videos tagged or else I'm going to harass this other person. That's pretty unlawful. I'm not bothering this chick. I don't go to her channel causing havoc, but I will respond to what she has to say and the lies that she tells. Everybody knows this person has been full of rage, hate. And I just don't get why. This is a real depressed individual that looks for validation from YouTubers in the name of I stand for truth. Yeah, but no one said that you had to even comment on any of that. You're actually looking like you're trying to fight somebody, and you can disguise it as I stand for truth. But really what you do is you flip-flop more than I've ever seen in this year, particularly than anybody else this year. Your unstable mind has people like wondering what's going on with it, but don't worry. The cheap phone ninja, don't worry. This is what happens when you befriend this weirdo.
And for those who don't know, the cheap phone ninja is a reference to Denise Mattow, because Denise has also spread lies about Urban Disciple in regards to what's happening between us and, like, let's say Blazing Scar. All right. So Denise, why is Denise even talking about Urban Disciple and saying awful things about him? And then also Blazing Scars doing it. Like, why would they be fighting with each other? They're both what is Denise's interest in Urban Disciple at this moment? Because he validates me, and she, needs to like make sure that, because she wants people to believe what she's lying about me on her channel, because it is a lie. And that lie also started, it emanates from Thomas Schellenberger. They all say the same thing that originated with him. In my instance, in this part right now.
Oh, and I've been dealing with this weirdo for many years, comes by, and I know it puts on a great front, but all it's doing is trying to gain information from you. I'm telling you right now, that's all it's doing. But as long as you have all your info on your channel, you should be good. Just don't communicate with this person. I have only one question. If you will entertain me, are you watching the U-Base fight? No, I'm not a UFC watcher. I'm actually against violence, to tell you the truth. I like fake wrestling, but when it comes down to violence and watching people get beat up and stuff like that, that's not my deal. I'm not a bloodthirsty animal. I have empathy. Unlike some people on this platform, I have this thing called empathy, and I can feel that. I can feel when people are being hateful and gross. You know what I mean? Terry, I've seen that you've been tagged. Well, we've been tagged in some videos together, which, the association is getting weird. And people build these types of associations because of their paranoia and their will to do nothing but cause confusion. And I've seen that, your favorite lady over there, one who's really obsessed with you specifically, I don't understand that either, is trying to paint me as some type of kid freak or a pedo or something like that. Which, I mean, it's defamation of character when you think about it. I'm not on paper with any of this. Now, personally, I mean, she has a freedom of speech. She can say what she wants to say, I guess, but the law doesn't agree with a lot of that. You know what I mean? There's really no freedom of speech. You really do have to pay for what you say. Look at the most wealthiest people in this world. Well, I'm saying the United States, because the wealthy don't worry about it. Let's go with rich. Look at the richest people in this world. They're entertainers. They're on TV. They have to watch their mouths. They can't say certain things because they won't make money. You understand? Like, so your silence gains you money. You run that mouth, hey man, you might just be a poor son of a bitch. Could be that way because you talk too much. You talk too much about people, and people can see this slander and sue you. If push does come to shove and this keeps going on, this might have to go to the law. I mean, this person's used to it anyway. This is probably exactly what they want. I'm getting tagged in all these videos. This person doesn't, I don't tag this person in videos. If I want to talk about them, I have the liberty to. In terms of making streams about this individual, I mean, it's really rare. I mean, it's becoming more common these days because.
And pay attention to both of Urban Disciple and my stream tonight. There's no legal name. There's no name of Blazing Scars channel or her name anywhere in my title or his title. It's just saying I stick with Urban Disciple. I stick with Terry. That's it. And so the whole point of having somebody's name or different versions of their name is to affect the algorithm to actually damage their reputation, because it is like ad hominem, because they don't really have an argument. And whatever's going on here, whatever drama that they create in the predator catcher community, which is what I've witnessed, mostly it's drama. And some of them have things in their closet, and the whole thing. And I want to go back to doing vigilante YouTube, because we're going to get to that part of this that Urban Disciple is going to talk about how he met him. When I see part of the people that I were talking about, that I had a clip of Clovis talking about how one of her videos was being investigated by the FBI. I didn't know the details. I was hearing it from a video. I was trying to make sense of it. And now I know what happened. And it was like something that she did that technically, as what she was doing, she shouldn't have done. She didn't get penalized for it, but you can't use a real minor to bait somebody. And you can't pretend to talk like the victim in a Facebook account. And that's what happened. That's what I found out happened. But instead of that, I had Clovis and Tacos and everybody, concocting the story that I was like trying to get a video of her granddaughters. And I mean, it just got, I don't want to go any farther into it, but it got really like twisted into that kind of area. And, like, I didn't even know she had grandchildren. And so these are the so that night, I'm telling you, like, after I did that show, this other stuff happened. Okay. And that night, the people that came to my chat, who I'd never seen before, was Blazing Scar, one of her accounts. It was her. She was there that night. And so was Colleen and Clovis. And Jesse showed up to because they knew, I didn't even know who Denise was to them like that. They were there to stop the damage that Denise could do that I didn't know about. And Thomas Schoenberger was there too. And the next day, he gave me a big old compliment and tried to give me some cryptocurrency. So right away, he was offering me some sort of monetary compensation. That's a fact. I have the emails to prove it. And I did not accept it because I know as a journalist, if you were reporting on somebody, you do not take money or favors from them. That was my decision. And I already in my mind knew that he was integral to something like this. So this is how I got involved with these people, Urban Disciple. And Becky came in when I was doing Vigil Anti-YouTube. So we're going to get to your part here.
The obsession, the constant, I'm jealous of something and I need to do something about it. Well, like I said before, you're not going to break up this union between Terry and I because there is nothing to break up, you weirdo. This is a person I see going through the treatment that you like to give people on. And remember, they kicked you out of here before. And that was because your behavior stunk. You were a terrible person and you deserved to be kicked out of here. That's why you were gone for so long. What's going on, baby fist? Great answer. Oh yeah, well that's just me there.
Here's my comment on Baby Fist, because like later on I'm going to get to that part, but like you were in my chat when I cut Baby Fist out. Baby Fist and I do have a history. It does connect to Cicada 3301 and some other stuff in our arguments. And right now, especially right now, if you notice, Babyfist goes from, he wants to be in everybody's chat right now. He's in Denise's chat, talking to her and everything. And this is what he does. And, Babyfist has said things like, I think like a year ago, he said this is creative writing for him. And he's documenting, like listening to everything. We're just amazing ladies, with Clovis. And this is when I was talking to Clovis at this point. And there was all this stuff. And I'm like, no, And, I feel like when he is in my chat that he's there to challenge me. And at this point, I'm just not in the mood to listen from him. And Babyfist is friends with Thomas Schoenberger. He's on the board of directors in Cicada 3301. And a lot of the people that a lot of us have been, who've been harassed by certain individuals on that board of directors, Marsha Stockton, this goes to Sewertown, Jesse and Pavana Davis, and another guy named Chris McGinty Jones, have all been instrumental. I don't know, like Matt doesn't seem to be participating with them in that, but he is there and here and everywhere what is his interest to hang out in the chats when he is buddies and has, I mean, obviously he is part of something that they believe they have money behind. Otherwise they wouldn't be trying to do a lawsuit. Thomas would not be trying to do a lawsuit if there wasn't a reason for that and a monetary interest. So somebody who has a monetary interest in that company is hanging around. I don't want him in my chat. I don't want him in my chat. I'm not comfortable with that right now. And I'm not sure I ever will be. So that's my thought on that.
Being for real about that, I'm not into all that violence and all that kind of stuff. Now it does exist, yeah, but looking at someone get knocked out and they're all messed up, what is funny about that? That is all bad, because you go to jail for life because you want to be tight and beat somebody up and you knock them out. I'm saying this: don't knock anybody out, man. Fight them. Make sure they feel everything that you got. Because if you knock them out, what if they don't wake back up? Jail forever, ever. No thanks. But yeah, I want to go into this latest tagged video or post I was in, because I'm always getting these tags from this blazing scar, man. I really wish you would just leave me alone. I mean, this is on borderline harassment at this point. Getting my attention, tagging me in videos, putting my name there, putting me with people I don't even know who this person really is. But because I don't have a problem with them. Now we're buddies. I don't understand that. I don't see anything wrong with this person. Now I'll bet that the cheap phone ninja is just really butthurt about this. Her sudden turn on things. Hey, what do you expect from a very, very mentally ill person? Let's read this post. I don't want to make this too long. I actually just want to keep it about 30 minutes and keep it pushing. I got better things to do. And I just want to document for myself, just in case I forget. Because I do have a tendency to forget things. And I look at videos that I've done. Oh, yeah, I forgot that happened. I forgot that happened. And that's why I do videos. Because my brain in my old age, I can't remember certain details, but hearing those details brought up brings that story to a whole different level. Now, this blazing scar white falcon is tagging me saying, the urban disciple 19 attempting, he went to a YouTuber's mom's Facebook to steal children's pictures to perv on. Now that's just slander in itself. And if I have I mean, let's keep it real. I've looked up Blazing Scar. This chick is she's got a hubby that's pretty loaded. And it would be sad to see Stevie Ray just out of money because you couldn't stop your harassment. And I'm being serious. I could probably get 5 people to come up here and say, you know what? Has this chick defamed you? Did she make you look bad over and over? Did she threaten to call your place of employment? Did she threaten to do all these things? And if they want to say, yeah, they corral around here. And see, we have a lot of people that just have a lot of mental issues, because at this point in the game, just coincidentally, right now, someone tried to log into my Facebook account. Now, do I think it's connected with them? Possibly. But it's funny because Facebook just stopped you from logging into my account just now. So just
yes, I have experienced this, or weird Facebook things. They do mess with technology.
Keep that in mind when you're dealing with these weird people. They do things like this. They tamper with my my Facebook account, not this time, but other times before, tried to get in. They've tried to get into my PayPal to send me funds, and I don't know who they are, but they exist and they're around. They get all triggered and mad, and they're really filthy drug addicts just trying to get a rise out of somebody. Now I forgot where I was at. All right, but anyways, admitting to go to, but oh yeah, like I was saying, we can come
Yes, I have also witnessed a drug history with these guys.
Together and make something happen. She likes to take people to court. I think with these slanderous statements like stealing pictures of children to perv on them, that's defaming my character. Where are all these other victims, though?
I
Is
mean,
what I'm
that's kind of like what Clovis was accusing me of. The same thing. I had those pictures and I was, I was doing things that I shouldn't have with it. That's the same accusation that I got.
asking. See, I don't know if Terry knows about these types of things. I mean, looking at what she's posting, it sounds like she's got something good going there. Like, damn, maybe this urban disciple might be a sick freak, but hold on. Am I just that good? Or is it just like one person who's flipped everything and tried to turn it into something? Now, all of a sudden, he's been this big, huge victim. Still comes by the channel, by the way. For what reason, I don't know. If I'm such a terrible human being, he still comes by and whatever. I tried to bury the hatchet, but it seems like people want to bring this back up all of a sudden. And I'm telling him, if you don't like this kind of thing, why do you keep those videos up? I don't have a video up of you in this topic, dude. You keep these videos up because you want this. So we're gonna have to talk about you and your filthy Facebook picture once again. So we got to get into story time. And I have videos. I was actually working on something to just show and prove because my mouth can only go so far. But when you do get a chance to see this, you can take this stream, you can line it up with the video, and you can see for yourself. I don't have to say nothing. I'm not trying to prove anything to anybody. I'm just saying, you don't have to take my word on anything I'm saying. Just know that it is this way, and this is how it is in the history book. So what happened was this character came by. We're going to kind of keep it short because it's a long story. So this guy came by. He's I've never seen him before. He's all excited because I did a video exposing a couple of these YouTube frauds, and one of them was on the sexual registry or some kind of, he was charged or convicted, one of these types of things, for getting with an underager. His story that he was the one that was underage getting with someone above his age, or I don't know. The story didn't make sense of what ODD was telling. But I'm like, okay, well, whatever. This is already in the history book. So after that video dropped, he came by. Oh, you're doing such great work, even though that clip that I have of his record, that doesn't come from my video. That's another guy's video that I put in this video because I was more of a reporter, so to speak. You know, I report what's going on in the community. I take clips, mash them together. Bam, there's an urban disciple video. No big deal. So this guy, he came by, he wanted to befriend me. I was like, oh, cool. I took your video and I did things with it. And no, he didn't say he did things with it. He just said, check this out, what I did. And he spliced my video up with some hard rock well, no, I can't say that. With some like death metal music. And I'm like, why did you just butcher this entire video? But I wanted to be nice to him and not bring that up. But I felt like that. I was like, why did you trash this crap? So I said, oh, that's cool. And a couple months go by, this guy, he's having problems with this other YouTuber, a call for an uprising. He's asking this guy, why aren't you showing your face? He doesn't show himself like Shizzle. Why aren't you putting out your analytics? We want to see how much money you make with your donations, and you get all this stuff and you claim to be talking about truth. Meanwhile, I've had my run-ins with a call for an uprising before all this. So if you were to see me having videos about him, I already made amends with that dude. I did have a few questions I wanted to ask him, but it wasn't questions. It was more like suggestions to give the truer perspective, because he was, he was being the typical Christian, and like there's a lot of information that can debunk a lot of things that Christians stand for. It's not even in the Bible. It's just a pastor said it and you believe it. So we have problems with that. This guy, he's having problems with other things, money, how much he's making. You want to see, like, all his documents, right? He goes, well, Urban Disciple, don't you want to join in on some of that fun as well? And I'm like, nah, man, I'm not joining in because whatever. I tried to keep the peace between all of them. And what happens, because I didn't want to join in, he now lumped me in with a call for an uprising. I'm a shill, I'm this, I'm that, I'm a Freemason, I'm a Satanist. So they did at least, these Seder twins did at least 20 videos on me before I did a response, one response. So I just let them have their fun. I wasn't really addressing them. I did whole streams occasionally.
All right. So if you are new to my channel, all right, and you're looking at this for the first time, this is a common thing that people who target people do on the internet. They will, slice your stuff up, make it look like you're saying things that you're not. I've shown some of those examples of that being done to me on Not My Rabbit Hole. And so, yeah.
And mention them. I didn't really care about them that much. I had other things going on. So they just kept badgering. I finally gave them what they wanted. And I gave them what they wanted. And they cried about that. We did this many videos and he only gave us one response.
In fact, that's something that Blazing Scar's doing right now on her channel about him still. With this, she's slicing this up to make it sound and look a certain way. Right now on her channel, right now on her YouTube channel, she's doing the very thing that he just said.
I'm like, whoa, I didn't know it was this deep. So after that response, things kind of settled down a little bit. And a few months later, it picked up again. All because I did a video about flat Earth. And he wanted to make a response video about that, diss me, some whatever for it. And so in my response to what he was saying to me, he said something like, I couldn't make a truth video if it fucking bit me in the ass. I said, what? I was like, I can't make a truth video if it fucking bit me in the ass. Like, why don't you go stick a dildo up your ass? It's like, doesn't he sound like a little girl, like some little bitch? Why don't you go stick a dildo up your ass? Because you're taking my videos all up your ass. And like I said, it doesn't really make sense that much, that joke, but hey, it was just a, it was a dumb joke.
One of the things that Blazin has clipped right now and made it, try to sped it up and makes it look like it's something else, is that right there. It's taken out of context. So, and she's framing like, oh my God, he's like, like she's totally doing the whole drama thing around it. Like as if it's like he's saying it about her or something. That's what it looked like to me. I have to, maybe we might look at it tonight.
Took that and said that I was sexualizing girls talking about sticking dildos in their butts. First, I didn't know what he was talking about because he came to my channel saying, you're a fucking pedophile, blah, 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 or whatever he was saying. I was trying to understand what he meant.
And right now, Urban in the chat is saying that the guy that he's talking about right here in this part of the clip is where all the latest videos are coming from. So she's using all those clips from this guy. The same thing. She's repeating it again for people right now because she has an issue with us both calling her out for her racist comments on YouTube. That's what this is about.
I was like, what are you talking about? Your statements prove it. And I was like, what is he talking about? So when he finally came up, I was like, well, play the clip that you're talking about. He's talking about the video where I called him a little girl and to stick a dildo up his ass because I think he's a butt plugging faggot to do that. Because he's taking my videos all up his ass. But I was thinking, if he's got my videos up his ass, he ain't got room. Well, never mind. Maybe that joke might make sense. Maybe he might have enough room for a dildo to slide up in there. So he's riffing and arguing about that. I'm like, dude, I don't have time for this stupidity. You're calling me a pedophile because I called you a little girl and told you to stick a dildo in your ass? So I'm a pedophile for that. So, he went around doing that, calling me that. Come to find out, he was calling everybody pedophiles. And this is who Blazing Scar, White Falcon, apparently she likes to emulate this. She goes around calling everybody a pervert and a sick freak. And one of the things that they do have in common, which I'll mention a little bit later, a little bit into this story. But yeah, we were cool for a little while, and another guy came by. He was saying that, yeah, he even called me a pedophile. I guess he had some kind of weird anime sex stuff on there. I mean, how are you going to gain he's a pedophile for having anime sex stuff on there? He's just, like a little detective going through all this G+ posts. Look at this picture. Look at that picture. Urban. He comes to me just like this White Falcon. Are you going to be supporting this? Doesn't that sound like a familiar story, Terry? Are you going to be supporting this? Because if you are, you're going to be lumped in with it too. Like, hey, man, this guy just came to my channel. I don't even know who he is. You know, you went and did your detective work, found all this stuff, and
Yeah, it does sound familiar, by the way. I'm agreeing.
brought it to me. I didn't know who he was. But isn't it important to know? Yes, it's important to know. But why are you bringing this to me? I'm making spot on decisions about friendship, YouTube friendships, mind you, about this. Who is this guy coming up and giving me ultimatums? I'm like, nah, I ain't listening to you. So you're going to be supporting this then? So he got all upset. He got so upset that he called me a nigger. Yeah, he did. He called me a dumb fucking nigger on top of it because I wouldn't go with what he's got to say. And then he calls me a pedophile repeatedly. I did say some stuff about him, which in my world, that's retaliation. Those are just better jokes. And people are just upset about, I could do it better than you could. You could just go, yeah, fucking pedo. And I can, really get into the mind of a creep like yours. So what happened was after he did all that, he calmed down again. He comes back to me. He's like, hey, man, Robin, this guy, he's really creeping me out. He had a video for Thanksgiving. I said Christmas, but it was Thanksgiving. And apparently these kids had pizza shirts on, and he's talking about don't burn your nipples, kids. Whatever you do, don't burn your nipples. And I was like, whoa. Come to find out, that was a joke that another YouTuber and I had said, but he was actually on camera burning his nipples. Like, what in the fuck is going on here? So that's where the joke comes from, because they were beefing. So, and Kevin, of course, they're wearing pizza shirts. He's talking about nipples. Oh my God, he's molesting these kids. This was Kevin's gimmick. This is all he thought about, is people molesting and torturing and doing whatever to kids. He was the Pizzagate head. He was the conspiracy theorist like that. He said it himself. You know, and Blazing Scar just like blindly follows this guy. And what the kicker was, Terry, that this guy, he doxed my Facebook account. Keep in mind, my name was never out there, and none of my stuff was that. I mean, it was out there, but I didn't want these freaks knowing that at a certain point. I didn't care in the beginning, but it came to a point where I don't want these freaks having this shit. They never knew, but they doxed my Facebook account on his stream. He thought he was real funny, going to all my pictures, going to my family members, making fun of that stuff, looking at my videos. Look at this guy. They told this lie for I don't know how many years.
That is so awful. It's so awful. And the family members, I mean, that is so wrong.
You know, he's at the corner wearing high heels and a cowboy hat. He's in drag and shit, dancing. That guy was not even me. You know what I mean? I shared a video, and this guy was in a cowboy hat and in high heels, doing some stripper moves. Yeah, he was, but
I totally get this. Same thing for me.
To me. And they went around saying that. They were around saying I was gay because of it. I shared a video. It was a funny video to share. They obviously had a good laugh about it. That's why I shared the video. So I said to myself, what is going on? How did they get this? Why are they doing this to me? So I decided to go do it to him.
Yeah, it feels like a real invasion. I know that our Facebook profiles are public, and you put your pictures out there. If you're an influencer or whatever, you're building your social media presence, which is all necessary. And then to have like your pictures or your graduation pictures or whatever it is, a picture that you took at an event, having your friends put in pictures and videos that are negative about you with you and your friend, or having a picture that means something to you be completely humiliated publicly. And it's very psychological. In a way, it's a it sort of is in a way a privacy violation as a person, in a way, to have, because like, especially in Facebook, you're putting your memories in your life, you're sharing it. Facebook is more intimate. And so it's different. And I think that that's real bad to do those kind of things to somebody on YouTube or on the internet.
Funny, when I got to his Facebook, he had a picture, not of himself, but it was of a little kid up there. You know, you can't really see much. It's just this little kid. I didn't even know if it was his Facebook or not. I was like, is this his Facebook? And I looked and I seen his brother and I seen the location. So I was like, yeah, this is his Facebook, all right. But he has this little kid up there. Come to find out, he has a lot more Facebooks with a lot more little kids up there. It's a trend for him. I don't know why he's doing this. And he's got other weird Facebook titles like Jethro Dix, almost like Mr. Dix, Jethro Dix.
And let me add another thing too. A lot of this can be happening, and some people might say, "Oh, well, I'm a predator catcher, so I'm fishing for predators." But then you wonder if that's actually true, or if they're double dipping in the backside and acting like they're actually really trying to help somebody. Because when I was on, I'm going to say it, when I was on Revolution Radio, all right, the webmaster was arrested for CP. And that channel was also involved in, let's say, predator catcher activity, that they were presenting themselves as being as being one of these guys, just like this. And, their webmaster was arrested for this. And she was living with somebody who basically was kind of like the liaison between them and the talent, and brought in the talent. They were roommates at that time. She was roommates with that webmaster. So again, Urban, when you're talking about being like realizing that people who presented themselves to be on the good side of what they're doing, you begin to wonder what's really going on.
So all these stupid little names, and like, this guy, something's wrong with him. I didn't find that till after. So I went and put his Facebook on my stream. I left this stream up for, after it was done, I took it down. But the stream was only about 10 minutes long. It was the show. I don't know. I think I may have bounced back from his stream. Look what he's doing. And then I went to Facebook. But in that Facebook, he had a picture of a little kid. But if you click that picture, it's a little kid in a filthy tub, filthy water, because dad was in there with him. And this kid has got a little Tupperware covering his little pecker. And I'm like, he's calling everybody a pedo. And we have like 5 victims at this point. He's calling everybody a pedo that I know. No, he got probably done it to a lot more. But look what he's got on his Facebook account. This is pretty sick, dude. It's pretty sick to do this. People were saying it was a setup. I didn't know that at the point in time. I was just like, look what you have on your Facebook. He went around saying that I made a video that Facebook account and perved and sexualized this kid. I played that clip. I played the whole video while he was on my stream one day, because he kept going around saying that, because no one heard the video, because he struck the video. I was like, hey, bro, you show me where I was talking sexual about your kid here. So he's just putting up a bunch of nonsense and BS. So when you check these videos out, that Blazing is promoting, she's really promoting a sick guy who went and called his own kids' genitalia dicks and cocks. Okay, that's not very sensible. Especially if you're going to be coming at me saying I'm talking sick about your child. You're the one calling his genitalia a dick and a cock, but it's my fault. You're the one who put him up there. Like I said, everyone that wasn't anybody knew that it was all Kevin's fault. But we have like weird people that have weird fetishes of weird things that defend this, because they defend little naked kids that are posted as calling cards on a Facebook account in a bathtub covering his little ding dong with a Tupperware. And I always thought it was real cute that Blazing takes his.
Okay, he's going to get to like Blazing taking his stuff, but I also want to interject that I think it's really inappropriate, wrong for parents or people to put their kids' pictures online. Or even like there's these mommies that, are social media influencers and they use their kids and stories about their kids. It's like their child has become part of their persona online, and the child didn't sign up for that or to be depicted in the way that they decided to. So, and there are predators on the internet. And so when you put your child out there on the internet, you might be making your child unsafe. And it bothers me. I don't like it when people put pictures of their kids. Really, I don't think they should do that. You should respect your child's privacy and be protecting them. And then when they do decide to get a Facebook account, this is my opinion, or they're old enough to be on social media and understand how social media works and be literate about it, then you are, you might say, okay, you can have a Facebook account, or an Instagram, but I'm going to be on it too. I'm moderating what you're doing and who's talking to you on the internet as a parent. And I really think those kind of things really need to be done.
Info on me, which is just rebuttals that he put together to make it look like something. I mean, any idiot could see that one. But yeah, she has bathtub towels while his kid's in the bathtub. He ain't got no towel. She's got some bathtub towels. I was like, why don't you give one to Kevin so he could have covered his kid up? He exposed his kid's ding dong to the world, and it's my fault for some reason. Everyone back then, he took the picture. He posted the shit. What are you doing posting this sick shit for? Now, since we run into so many sickos and freaks, now it's urban disciples the freak. I mean, no one is buying that shit. No one that was around then will look at you now and be like, you're right. You know what I mean? These are people that inserted themselves because this is a community of sick freaks. That's why I always have to be a perv and urban. And this guy has been trying to get he's been trying to get my attention for a little while now. And what do you want, bro? You're just sick like them. You know what I mean? I don't have time for sickness. I do videos about conspiracy theories, and you guys are stuck on kids' penises and shit and little tacos. That's you guys, not me. I'm not focused on that stuff. Now, I will bring up things when I'm tagged in videos constantly, Blazing Scar. You should just stop doing that. Why are you tagging me in videos? I'm not talking about you. I'm not, I'm only responding to what you say. I'm participating, yeah. But after I do my response, it should be game over at that point. Nope. She has another thing to say and another thing to say. But it's not about what I played with her in their fucking bathtub towels and shit. Talking about grandsons and granddaughters kissing on each other, and then y'all gonna have another baby boy join in on that fun as well. Were you guys gonna record this fun, Blazing, or was this just a memory that you were gonna have, or is this just the hypothetical? I'm skeptical on what you guys were going to be recording, if you were going to be recording anything when your kids got together and stuff like that. Remember, same stream you guys were talking about links to videos, cheese, pizza, strokes, hot dogs, sauerkraut, all sorts of rotten tomato stuff, Blazing. So, I mean, you don't catch me coding up words and things like that. If I'm going to say something, I'm going to own it. Everybody's going to hear it. All right? You try to dismiss yourself from that. Who gets their, who's bragging about getting their grandson a towel for the bathtub anyway? Any regular human being that's just a civilized American will look at you and say, there's something sinister about this bitch right here. I'm going to figure it out. All right. Okay. Oh, and by the way, I'm still wondering, if you ever want to do something, why don't you tag me in a video where you explain why you said I was working with a woman who groomed teenage girls? What was my job? Was I a bouncer too, like Denise would say, for a pedophile ring that she has yet to prove? Prove that, Denise. These guys are so credible, though. Oh, my goodness.
Okay, so I think really I'm gonna
Yeah, no one wants to type, huh? Okay, I see.
I'm gonna
You guys
like
may-
I'm gonna like kind of I'm gonna pause it right there, and I'm gonna add. I'll try to make sure that I add this to the link of watching it on my description, so that if you want to watch Urban Disciples, a whole entire video, you can. I am placing it here in the chat. It's I Stick with Terry 2. Will there be a 3? But yeah, and because I wanted to spend some time actually showing some things of some stuff that I have noticed. And before we get to that, I want to play a clip of Denise Matau threatening to make sure that I don't become a journalist. So let's play that really quick.
The whole thing about coming after whistleblowers, that's what the gang does. It is a mercenary gang. And she is working with them. She plans to have a career. Well, I plan to have that career go where it belongs. Because I'm going to get justice for my daughter. And for Myron Wicks. That's the other thing. I've talked about Faith Jackson's death. That's my daughter. She was preparing to marry a young man named Myron Wicks, who was killed a few weeks before she was killed. They were planning to move to Texas to be with me when they were killed. And Terry Joyce Randolph is an accessory after the fact.
All right. I am an accessory after the fact. And I'll play another song that I have here on my channel, Astro Record 6980. I'm going to play this. I'm going to play about another big scam that happens on the internet. The song's called Medbeds.
Deal.
In a world of pain, a whisper starts to bloom of a secret chamber chasing away all gloom. They call them med beds, a futuristic dream. Med beds. Med beds. A promise so grand, but no real photos, just one giant hologram. They say they're coming, $1 billion plan. Don't show up in my scans. Med beds. A promise so grand, but no real photos, just one giant hologram. They say they're coming, $1 billion plan. Don't show up in my scans. Police say Tesla built them in a lab far away, or aliens brought them for a brighter new day. Hidden in tunnels by the deep state's own hand, hoarded by the wealthy across the whole land. QAnon voices on Telegram, they shout, Trump will release them, no reason to doubt. A benevolent military will roll out the plan, free for all citizens, every woman and man. Oh, med beds.
Med beds, a promise so grand, but no real photos, just sand in your hand. A jumble of buzzwords, a child Star Trek fleet, quantum frequencies for all to be free. But if it sounds too good, it's a dangerous art, a mirage for the desperate, breaking every heart.
They talk of bad frequencies and good to restore, a science that simply makes no sense anymore. The FDA warns us of devices unproven, hucksters and scams, their true motives are woven, charging small fees for a bed that's not there, leaving folks empty, lost in despair. When real help is needed, they turn you away for a fictional cure.
So look for the evidence, the truth in the light. Don't fall for the fantasy in the dark of the night. For true healing comes from science and care, not from a med bed floating in thin air. Med beds! 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 Med beds!
All right, welcome back to Not My Rabbit Hole. Okay, so I should have been like looking where I want to go to, but I believe we're going to start with the good stuff ninja. Okay, and I just want to show a little bit of what she's been saying in terms of us. So I'm gonna do a share screen here, and you can see, like, just look at the titles. I played a little bit of like Terry Joyce and the Ghetto Girls, okay, and that's a racial slur. And then Terry Joyce claims I have a GoFundMe. Okay, let's look a little bit at this one, and then the big lie about my financial activity. These are her most recent stuff. This is 2 minutes and 54 seconds. Let's play a little bit of this.
Okay. This guy, what's his name? Ryan Durden. He uses the name Urban Disciple.
Okay, so she's talking about Urban Disciple now. The title says Terry Joyce claims I have a GoFundMe, lies about the college investigation into her activities. So apparently I'm under investigation by my college, which is a lie. That is like completely not true. I did say, I think in passing on one of my videos that Denise said that she had a GoFundMe to do a lawsuit against me. I stand corrected on that. She does not have a GoFundMe, but she did post something. By the way, let me just kind of like also pull that up and show you what she did post about. She was halfway done. I thought it says fundraising money. Okay. So I want to go to my post. So I'm going to click into here really quick because it's not that far down of what I here it is. Okay. So you're looking at the video. Let me take the video off the screen really quick and show you exactly what Denise said in regards to what I was talking about. And this is a comment on Thomas Schoenberger's a post by him. Okay. That's why he's tagged in this. So I wrote, Denise Mattel denies saying that she's halfway through her funding goal for a lawsuit against me in a reply to a post to Thomas Schoenberger made on his YouTube community page. Here is proof she is lying about her actions. So here, this is Denise, Good Stuff Ninja. You can see this. Well, she does continue to post the solid lie that her college employer filed police complaints against me. They did. That is true. Sent a C&D letter. Yes, they did. And they actually knocked on their door and they were listening here, connected like by a phone or whatever was going on, but they witnessed her. They listened to her being served and they were, so yes. And even had the Corpus Christi PD serve, yes, warrants at my home. They did. Not only is that clearly not true at all, but if they did do that, they could be charged with intimidating a witness. Now, what does that mean exactly when Denise says she's intimidating? Intimidating a witness for who? Thomas? Because that's the same thing that Blazing Scar's been screaming at me. I'm intimidating a witness. I'm going to be a defendant because I'm intimidating her, which is a witness for whom? Thomas Schoenberger, the lawsuit, that stuff. Is that what we're talking about? Because that's what it sounds like. It's a repetition of this threat by a lot of these guys towards me. I'm glad she keeps extending the statute of limitations on all of it because, as you know, it's an expensive thing to take someone like her and possibly her college employer to court. So now she is like, just like Thomas, just like everybody else, even National Media, the target is my colleges that I've worked for or attend. Somehow they think they have a lawsuit with these people simply because I'm employed or that I go to school there. I'm laughing because I'm halfway to my funding goal and she keeps extending the time frame. So she has a funding goal. She writes that she has a funding goal. To me, that sounds like she's doing some sort of funding campaign. Somebody is funding her or she's asking for funding or whatever. But what she's going to say here is that that's not what she did at all. She was saving her own money from her own Social Security. And how dare I assume that she was crowdsourcing her lawsuit against me, which there's nothing wrong with that. All right. C.W. Chanter was doing that. A lot of people have asked for donations because they were in bogus lawsuits against people. Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
Teresa Randolph, Terry Joyce. She uses the name Terry Joyce. Angela G. She has some kind of Italian last name. Baby Fist, known as Matthew Chapman. And a bunch of them are in there. There's no GoFundMe that belongs to me. If somebody's using my name, it's not me. I never said that I had a GoFundMe. You're all in there.
Denise has used a GoFundMe or a funding platform because there's old videos of her pushing it. And maybe it didn't happen now, but she has in the past. So let's get real here. And there has been, admittance by Thomas Schoenberger that he has donated to help Denise out before. So she has been given money from this group and she's accepted it. So let's just go there.
Listening to that former porn actress, Terry Joyce, who is listed.
I'm not a porn actress, Denise. Okay? I'm not.
In the Barely Legal resume section as Terry Joyce Studios providing casting services. That
is a lie. I've never had Terry Joyce Studios. I don't have my own Barely Legal studio. This is complete lie and fabrication of which David Schurter has repeated also on his YouTube channel, of which Thomas Schoenberger has also repeated on his community guidelines and on X. Okay? This is defamation, Denise, and it's been going on for a really long time. So if you think you're saving money for that, I think it's absolutely delusional.
Listed in a separate place from the listing for her acting role in one of the films. That's a fact.
No, it's
That's
not a
what
fact.
her college looked at. There is no cease and desist letter that has ever been sent to me.
Yes, it has. And you know what? I'm going to stop there because, I'm sorry, but I only have so much time to do this video, and I do not want to spend more than, it's got to be less than 2 hours. So, let's go over to Blazin. Let's check out Blazin right now. Okay. This is what Blazin Scar is doing. And it's similar. It is similar to Denise right now. Okay. This is Blazing Scar's recent uploads. Pervy Irby, the Urban Disciples, Pervy Irby. Like, she's done 4 videos. One 2 hours ago, 12 views. The other one was 3 hours ago. The other one is 18 hours ago. This one, and so let's go. Oh, here she's talking about Denise Mattel. Here's my name mentioned again, and she's apparently mad at her, but she's still showing Denise. So look at this for a second.
Okay, y'all, bear with me. I'm pretty sick.
This was.
My throat's all swollen.
So the night when I'm doing my reading, right, she's doing this. She's when I'm reading my work at Fresno State, this is what Blazin is making about me.
Denise, if you think you're going to get away with this, you're sadly mistaken. You know I'm one that speaks up. Well, first off, I've listened to your pointed, opinionated jabs at me about me being wealthy and having horses, and then you blew that off, and then about the drama. Well, first of all, if I want to do drama, I'm going to do drama. Some folks like to do video games. I don't. You like to do your little thing. I don't.
So here's the title. Oh, heck no, Denise. What you did is as bad as what Terry Joyce Randolph did. Like, what? Did what? Okay, so she's sharing stuff about on my page. Now she's going to show Denise. Watch. Oh.
It was.
Anyways, she shared, I don't know. Denise's, here we go.
Claims and pity campaigns. That's all she can think of, is exploiting other people.
Terry Joyce Randolph.
Here we go.
And you
now
say
she's
this.
She's acting like she's fighting with Denise, which is something that like David Schroeder does. But now she's going to show Denise's defamation on her channel of me.
The only thing she can think of is exploiting other people with victim claims and pity campaigns. That's all she can think of. And on top of it, she's so incredibly stupid. She's making a threat against somebody who has said they don't believe in the Holocaust. They think it never happened, which, I think that's kind of a dumb idea. It did happen.
Kind of a dumb idea. First of all, it's idea. And I didn't never say that.
It could be.
But you did, Blazin, and I've shown the videos that you made, and I've shown the screenshots of it, and let's just go and take a look at your live streams. That here's a title. You've got white guilt, and it says Terry Joyce Randolph, Becky Dean said there were no gas chambers. Should we look at it again? Okay. Shall we look at it again? That is an anti-Semitic statement. You were agreeing. I said you had done another video. I made a comment on it. You've made posts that were like anti-Semitic, saying that they were, so here she is. She's showing my stuff. This is the second video. This is not the first video that she did. This is a second video. All right. But I showed, here we go. What's this about? This right now is a video. Here we go. Okay, so what this is about is basically it's discrediting the fact that the gas chambers actually really were able to hold the chemicals and this and that, and have done what they did. It's a disputing of the gas chambers, and the title is "There Were No Gas Chambers." Like, what is a person supposed to think about it? Okay, and I think I've made my point. So you are sharing things that are disputing the Holocaust. You cannot sit on your channel and act like you're not doing it. Oh my God, maybe I wasn't showing it. Let me show you this. Sorry. Let's go back. Sorry.
Chamber story. And once again, we're quoting.
Okay, here we go. Let's go back.
$400 for an African slave. Shocking auctions are happening in Libya as Africans are sold into slavery.
400. Okay, that's not what I was looking for. Hold on. Here it is. Here we go. It's right here. Let's go.
This has turned up the evidence that our own psychological warfare executive were behind the entire gas chamber story. And once again, we're quoting from the archives. They're in the British archives, how the psychological warfare executive decides quite cold-bloodedly and cynically to start putting out over the radio waves the allegation that the Germans have built special gas chambers for gassing the Jews and getting rid of them. And later on in the files, around about 1944, you find the chairman of the Joint Intelligence Committee, who is responsible for the psychological warfare executive, writing a handwritten minute. His name is Victor Cavendish Bentinck, an eminent banker, and it does.
Okay, and Blazing was showing that. It's a little bit earlier, so she's talking about this guy, or it was like a little bit farther back. So let's go back a little bit to this guy again, because I think I didn't show him properly. Okay, let's go back.
Was brought to document the fact that the forensic samples that I removed from the facilities, the control sample from delousing facility number 1 of Birkenau, and all of the other samples from the alleged gas execution rooms were properly taken, packaged for submission to the laboratories. I examined the facilities and I made a determination that they were incapable of supporting the use of hydrogen cyanide gas for purposes of execution or otherwise. But additionally, it would be necessary.
Okay, I'm sorry, but this is doing material that is denial of the Holocaust. I don't care what you say right now, Blazin. That is evidence that this is your channel and this is what you're showing on YouTube. And my name is tagged in it in your argument against me, but you want to tell me that that's not what you're talking about? Oh, I think it is what you're talking about. And there's a part where, I didn't play it, but, Urban Disciple was talking about how, maybe we should just go up and go back to that, the paper that wrote your story and show them what you are actually doing on the internet, because we have evidence of it, because you made that claim that you were a victim. And right now you do not look like a victim. You look like a perpetrator, and that maybe you are being phony to the press. Could that be possible, Blazin? Let's do some more Urban Disciple stuff. Let's go here.
I'm skeptical on what you guys are going to record. If you're going to be recording anything, when your kids.
She is taking the live stream that I showed, and look how what she's doing.
When back then, he took the picture, he posted the shit. What are you doing posting this sick shit for? Now, since we run into so many sickos and freaks, now it's urban disciples the freak. I mean, no one was buying that shit. No one that was around then will look at you now and be like,
Again, lies. Everybody was telling you. You even just heard Kay Smalls. You're a little liar. No one could believe that you would keep it, store it, and use it.
And she has him tagged, and it's Pervy Irby, aka Ryan Michael Durden. So she's doxing his legal name, everything. Admits taking naked child's pic 3. Okay, so she's taking what I just played and framing it as if he's guilty of talking about what they've done to him, and that wasn't true. She's flipping it because that's all she has in her argument right now. Let's go with this one. Here she is again. This is another part of what I just showed.
Kind of fun.
you're in for 15 years, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm gonna smoke a cigarette. No one's even talking here, so no one entertained. I don't really have much else to say. We should go down these tagged videos I've been in for the last month with this blazing. I mean, you can look at my list and then look at hers and look at who's obsessed. All right, I'll be back.
Look at who's obsessed. Okay.
I don't know what's wrong with her volume, but it's not working. But you see what she's doing here, and she's done it back to back. Here she is. Here's another one that she this is the first one she did. Again, 11/15, 2025. Proof the herb, and she's tagging him. Ryan Michael Blank stores minor kids' pics on his devices. That's the title. That's the title, guys.
Yeah, you're such a liar. Here's proof right here that you collect kids' photos on the internet, and you don't think it's stealing because it's public. Then you store it on your devices, and then you won't delete it because you want to weaponize it. You were over there talking about my grandson and, the one who my niece too, and, and my husband, and who else you want to hit on. And you wonder why I call you a perv? Yeah, the kid was in a bathtub. He was naked with a bowl over his private areas. You snagged that and put it all over, and you probably still have it on your device.
Where did you publish it at, though, Blazin? Like, you're accusing him of taking a picture that you made public to the public. You made a child public. You talked about a child publicly. You did it. If Urban took it and showed it somewhere as showing what you do, and now you're accusing him of being a perv, you put that out on the internet. You're responsible for it, Blazin, not Urban Disciple.
And this is why I'm pretty sure you have many others. So, you like to try to deny and place semantics.
I figured it too. I mean, Urban says, I don't put that photo all over. That's BS. See?
But listen up, folks. What photos? I don't have any photos. But then he admits up to it.
You are one and the same to me. Because you both do the same crap. One posts one video, then the other one mirrors it and posts it on their channel.
I'll make you a deal right now. You get Urban to delete my kids' photos, and I'll remove that fucking case. I don't have any photos of yours.
Okay, so this is like she's taking a clip from the past and framing it. This is something that they all do. David does it. Thomas does it. They take something and they frame it to be something else or worse than it really is. Denise does it. They all do it. It's going to end. And, Urban Disciple was saying we have a lawsuit. Yes, we do have a lawsuit. And hey, we should talk. I am ready to pursue you, but this has been happening to a lot of people. Blazing Scar, let's talk about Daniel Dow. Let's talk about Sewardtown and Jesse and Pravana Davis. You have verbally attacked, said vile, disgusting things about their daughter, Blazing. I heard it. And you want to sit back and act like you're going to have a lawsuit? You've already ruined it. with me. You've already done a defamation campaign of myself and Urban Disciples, and you've made racist comments, and you are guilty of it. So, you know, I want to thank everybody for like being here tonight. Urban, it was really nice having you in the chat. We've had a lot of looky-loos. A lot of people, I think, are, you know, you're kind of nervous, aren't you guys? Because you know you've been caught. Denise, you've been caught. There's no excuse for what you've been doing to me on the internet. I'll see you in court if you think you're going to go there, because I'm prepared, sweetheart. So you better be ready. You all better be ready. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
He ain't no Saint Germain, no crime, no name. He plays the game, sharp as a flame. Who's to blame for the stolen fame? A shadow dance in the devil's frame. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on a stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lulz, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lulz, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. Fast, can't find the ground. Echoes of chaos all around. You chose this dance, this mad parade, but not every choice gets accolades. Go in the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lulz, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. Laughing loud, all for the lulz, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole. City lights and sirens scream, truth and lies blend like a dream. Wicked smiles, a clever scheme, chasing gold in the neon gleam. Going down the rabbit hole, losing control, spinning wild on the stripper pole. Laughing loud, all for the lows, but baby, that's not my rabbit hole.